Yes, indeed. As one day special finishes, another one is about to begin. And what a one-day special we are bringing you for the next 24 hours. You love it already. It's Groovi and the one and only Barbara Grace here. How are you?
I'm fine, Adam. How are you?
I'm good and very excited.
Nice to have your company today.
I know. What a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, early evening now, just to sit back and relax and enjoy the wonderful world of Groovi.
Groovi and Linda Williams' artwork.
Yes, indeed. You wait till you see these brand new Groovi plates. It's one not to be missed. And let's jump straight in. I'll do the boring bits first, and then I'll let Barbara explain exactly what we've got here. 798135 is your item number. £54.94. Now, you can also split this onto flexible payments as well, of 2 flexible payments of £27.47. Now, for £27.47, you are getting an awful lot for your money.
These are so beautiful.
Oh, they are stunning.
So we've got 6 plates, 6 A5 Groovi plates that Linda has illustrated and designed, all garden themed, the garden collection. And what you'll see is when you look at them, they're absolutely packed. So here you can see we've got the wrought iron, the window, the bunting, live on the sunny side. Then we've got the greenhouse and the lovely little chair and the spade and the relax and take it easy. Now, you've also, keep looking around the frames. Every frame is different as well. And here we've got a hammock, enjoy peaceful moments. You've got a little basket with roses in there. There are so many different assets. There's a little hat there. Now come down, take time to love your garden. So here we've got the man cave. And Linda's even left a little, see the little sign above the door? So you can personalise it. How cool is that? So you've got the cabbage patch, you've got the wheelbarrow, you've got the tree, you've got the garden, the allotment. Now we've got the swinging deck chair. That's gorgeous, very Chinesey. Serenity and joy, really nice. So you know that you've got a fantastic mix and match here. And then in the 6th one, we've got the deck chairs. We've got the his and hers, time to relax. And then we've got all that lovely hanging vines and a little tree and a little fountain as well. Absolutely gorgeous. You really are. And you look, the elements that you're getting in there, see them as complete plates, but then I want you to take that plate and break it apart, as it were, because the elements that you've got in there, you can now start creating scenes from your wildest dreams. It's like having the entire garden broken down into 6 plates, and then you just mix and match. And that's really what we're going to do now. Linda, she's really again, if we look at the actual artwork, let's indulge that, and you'll see now. This is when you just trace it out simply as is. You can see here, this is what you've got. 10% Barbara's already gone in 3 minutes. Already? 10% I'm so glad to hear it. In 3 minutes. There you go, Linda. Told you they'd love them. You know Linda's watching, don't you? She will be. There she is. But look, and you can really see from each one I flick through. So now I've just noticed the picket fence. Look, you see the little picket fence there? So it's interesting how the more you look at them... You've got the little birds in here as well that you wanted. So there's little birds, little flowers, there's a little cat. So keep your eye on that cat, because that cat's going to find its way into the hammock. Into the hammock shortly. But this is what you can do. You can manipulate them to yours. And then you have got the little potting shed at the bottom of the garden if you want it to be. And all these little... Look, there's a broom. So when you start looking, I think it's always a good idea to trace these out, literally emboss them. So, because as you're going round, you can see, and you know what we were saying about earlier, about cutting up, and then like Tina says, about cutting out so that you can get your... Move them all around. So if you trace this out, then you can cut out the assets, and then you can move them around for composition purposes. Look at this. Yeah, so you've got little pots. There's so much. There's a little watering can, there's a fork. And every single one of them has got a different border. So you see the borders change all the time. Crisscross, not crisscross. Hammock, my personal favourite. Little basket. But what I like that, so for example, just take the hammock as it were, but then the hammock will fit amongst these that you've got along the top here. It would also fit in, if you wanted to, just under the window with the bunting going along. Yeah, and the bunting works beautifully from the greenhouse if you're having a party. Yeah, there's so much, it really is. And the bunting, you can extend it. You can extend it any length you want. So you don't need a full plate of bunting, because you can continue these. Same with the picket fence. You can continue that picket fence if you want to with all your beautiful
beautiful foliage that runs over the top. They are absolutely stunning. And in theory, if you look at the price that you've got there, you are getting 6 plates, more or less, for the price of 5.
You are getting 6 for the price of 5.
So you're basically getting one free.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, look at these,
so
though,
this is great. Yeah, time to relax. Isn't that lovely?
That's
layered up on our designer parchment and paper. But what's interesting is here,
look at that.
Check it out. So this one's obviously in the garden. Who did this one? Maggie Byford. Now take this one, Time to Relax. Glynis Whitehead, she's taken the 2 deck chairs and put them by a lake. Isn't that super?
But it's the same, exactly the same
just a
image
different
that
background.
you're using.
Isn't that super?
With the same flowers along the top as well, but just change the background, you've totally changed the scene that you've got. You are loving these, and remember, you're getting all of these for £27.47 across 2 flexible payments. But 20% now of the stock has gone, and we're 5 minutes and 55 seconds into one of 2 launch hours. These are 2. This is a 2-hour show. Your item number. What's this about? Before we move on.
Right, before we move on, I've got to show you this. This is a really superb, right? But you're going to have to come back at 9 o'clock to see what I do with this. This is Linda's idea. Just hold that a minute.
Yep.
Just hold that. This is a colouring pattern. And if you just stay there for 1 second, and I'll show you what we're doing tomorrow morning. I know we're jumping ahead a little bit here, but just so that you understand, Linda's included the pattern. Now, if you look at this, if we could get in tight, there you go. You see how in here there are grapes or wisteria? If you can get in really, I don't know how tight we can get in. I'm just going to hold it tight.
Look at that.
And you can see, if you go in, right, you see the beautiful, see the tomatoes, the flowers, the detail within the greenhouse.
Down here.
Yep, there we are. So that is a really delicate colouring technique, and what you need to be able to do that is the pattern, and that's the pattern to do the job. It's actual size pattern. So I'm going to show you how to use these things tomorrow.
So that's tomorrow morning at 9 AM tomorrow morning. Don't miss out. Remember, these will come in your packs as well. It is going to be one of them. Is it going to be the stock or is it going to be the clock? We're already over 20% of the stock has already gone. £27.47, 798135. We've also got another brand new bundle on the show as well. It's the this one now.
Oh yeah.
This is your hobbies. Our hobbies and pastimes we've got here, £31.95. You're getting five for the price of 4.
Yes. Yeah,
so you're getting another one free in this as well. These are beautiful.
These are so gorgeous, and they're also, you know, often we get asked for men's cards. So really, this whole show is very, very versatile, but it works beautifully for men. Now, this is and these hobby plates, they complement those ones perfectly.
They really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got things like the bird table. If you wanted to use the bird table in there, you've got all your gardening accoutrements. And then you've
also got the frame. Now the frame only goes this far, but obviously you flip it, and then you've got an entire frame, haven't you?
Turn it around, and you've got the complete frame in there. But you've got the smaller things like the welly boots and another watering can. The flowers with the weeds that are in there as well. But then the roots is what I meant. Then you've also got the craft room.
No, then we've got the craft room. That's it. So you've got your scissors, your brayer. You've got your embossing powder, there we go. You've got stamps, you've got brushes. So it's for a crafter, this is so lovely.
Really, so delightful. You can do your patterns on the top. Remember, you're getting your borders as well in there that can go all the way around. And
you know your little desk, these dots, you just don't put them in. If you want to put something else on there, the dots are there as a great little background trick. But you take the dots out, because it looks like a pegboard, take them out, and you can put whatever you like in there.
So you could put your pots on there, your pots of paint on there on the table if you wanted to.
Craft along with Maggie, or, you know, it's for a workshop, or anything you fancy, a little invitation.
Even teacher cards.
That's it.
If you're sending cards to a teacher, you normally get the standard cards, but now you can really emphasise your cards. And then we're going to the world of dressmaking.
Here we go. So this is the haberdashery. This is gorgeous. So you've got your reels. And again, check it out. You've got this ribbon across. There are so many things. There's a needle with a thread. There's a ruler. There are so many assets, again, perfect for anybody who likes sewing. You are so amazing. A bit of a pun, but there we are. I love it. This is great. A little pin cushion, thimble, zip. So many clever ideas.
Over 10%. Over 10% already, and we're not even, I've still got another 2 boards to show you, and already 10% of the stock has gone. Cookery fans.
Yeah, here we go. So eat cake and be happy. Absolutely. Sugar, flour. So here we've got the border. This time we've got those entwined hearts. Isn't that gorgeous? So you've got bakes, you've got jugs, you've got teapots, you've got tea for 2, you've got an apron. Again, for somebody who likes baking, I know exactly who I'd send this to, Sheila.
And then, we just keep telling her.
We've got the artist.
The artist as well.
So here's the painter. And this is great. Make art, not war. Love it. Once again, we're looking at that border here. So there are so many. You've got, and the thing is, with that easel, for example, we've popped a paintbrush and a splash of paint in there. You just don't put that in, obviously. We've just put it in because we wanted to use the space up. The same as this is a parchment piece. These are in there. You don't put them in there.
But you can choose what you want. Yeah. But now imagine your easel. You can now pop that in the garden if you wanted to, with those 2 deck chairs looking instead of the fountain. Smashing. They could be looking at the easel, then you can put another picture into the easel as well. There is so much you can do with them once you get them home. These are just, it's just a small teaser of, then you manipulate them yourself and move them around.
Yeah.
You see?
So they sort of mix and match with the big bundle.
Let me show, I need to show some of these finished samples before, I know we must move on, but look
Maria
how
did this one.
Beautiful.
Isn't that great?
With the beautiful dots in the background as well that you've got there. This
is great. Glynis's, I like this. She's done a sampler, which is always a really lovely way to go. Sampler's great.
With the small zip though on the angle though, so you see, I'm going to have the zip straight down like they are on the plate. You can manipulate where you're using the cotton. Remember that was down the side of the plate? Now you can just use small elements of it.
So this is very clever. This is ingenious by Glynis. Right, so she's used the little as the front, but inside, look, it's a seed packet. Look, the Kiss of the Sun for Pardon. So this is another one of our plates. Look, the Kiss of the Sun for Pardon, the Song of the Birds. This is one of our poetry plates. The Song of the Birds for Mirth. You're nearer God's heart in the garden than anywhere else on earth. So that is just so delightful. And then when you come down, there's a little seed packet. What a gorgeous gift. There we go. Plant the garden, water your soul.
And what a stunning gift that would be to give someone.
Lovely, isn't it?
Imagine, normally hand over a pack of seeds, no, nothing is it? But then once you've started creating, then you start building up the memories and the things that people want to start keeping and treasuring.
I love this. Look, Born to Craft by Chris Walker.
And that was the craft desk without the pegboards on the back.
So you just use the bits you want.
You see, you are loving these. £31.95. Remember, if you're also going for your one-day special, you can split the cost of this as well. And you can also split the price will then split into 2 flexible payments that you've got there.
Maria's done a beautiful one there. Love that. So she's using the little elements from the sewing plate. Look, you are so amazing. But it's great because she's used a background from a background paper. Isn't that nice?
That is, and then she'd cut it out
and then cut it out and superimposed it.
See? It all works. They all work hand in hand. 239908 is your item number. £31.95. We've got one more set to see as well. Now, you love these in the hours this morning or the early afternoon. And I'm going to show you a bit more detail now. They go through the seasons.
Oh, yeah, these are smashing.
And you've also got your own personal handwriting on there as well for those sentiments.
Yeah, I drew these. These are my artwork as well. Yeah. So these are great. And, of course, since the whole theme here is in the garden, spring, summer, autumn, winter. These are wonderful. And what I like about these is they're just a really arty frame, right?
Well, yeah.
So all those lovely pictures, the first demo I'm going to do, I'm going to take the hammock and hang it in.
Oh, you could pop the hammock into here if you wanted to.
It looks so nice.
And also,
so soft.
I'm also thinking, if you've never done Groovi before, what a way to start, because you haven't got to fill an entire parchment. Because you've got your border, you keep your first picture inside the border that you see. So then you've also got your sentiments in here.
So here, for example, there's one of the borders and there's the sentiments. So it's dead straightforward, and then it's just the parchment in the background, then overlaid. Look, see.
70% of this has already gone. 70% has gone.
Well, they are good.
You've also got the autumn, but remember, you can take out what you need and what you don't need.
There you go. There's look, see, I'm going parallel here, but it's so nice, isn't it?
That is beautiful. And then, last but not least, you've also got summer as well. Is that the one that we've just seen?
That's spring.
That's that one, look.
Right, and you can see here. See, originally when I drew these, I drew them to complement the floral alphabet. Okay. But they just work so beautifully as seasonal frames, you know, they're lovely.
They work with everything that you've already got, and they will work with this collection as well. £31.95. Over 75% of the stock already gone. 14062 is item number. The best thing to do for these sort of hours? Jump to the web. You know I love it. Jump to the website. Everything is on there. Your one-day special is also on flexible payments. But if you're thinking, Adam, this is all well and good, but budgets being budgets, you can get them individually as well if you want to, but you get the majority of the saving will be on your one-day special. That's where all the saving will be. All the plates that we've just talked about are all individuals as well, so you've got your hobbies on there as well and your pastimes if you want those individually, but do not fear, all the bundles are there for you. You're going to get more for your money if you are going for your bundles. A third of the one-day special now has already gone. A third of the stock, and we're 15 minutes into a 2-hour show.
Linda, I told you.
This is going to be busy, I feel. What if I was you now, I'd pop them in your basket or give the call centre a call, get them, order them,
that's a lot
and then you can relax. Okay. And then you can just sit back and enjoy all the techniques that Barbara and Paul are going to show you over the next 24 hours.
The thing is that Linda's done all the demos for me. You know, we're running around at the moment like lunatics.
You are, bless you, moving offices.
Trying to move the factory, going up to Scotland on Tuesday. So Linda, she said, right, because she's got her own situation going on at home at the moment. It's all fine though. She's all right. She's just got a lot of responsibility at the moment. So she can't come here and do, she's gutted, aren't you, Linda? I know you are. She'd do a much better job than me as well. But I am the ambassador today. So what I'm doing is I'm taking Linda's artwork, because she did all the prep for me to help me. And then she's my mate, she's my good friend. So she's done all the prep for me, and I've just got to show her artwork. And when you see Linda's artwork like this, you think, golly, am I supposed to reproduce that? It must have taken her days. But then when you actually look at it and she dissects it for me, so I'm going to show you, it's achievable. It's really achievable. And so what I want to do now is show you how to do this and what plates we've used and how we arrived at this.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first thing I want to do, I think, is we're just gonna work it down and then we'll start working it back. So if I, for example, I'm going to go in the order that we're actually going to use it. So humour me here while we indulge the plates, and we're going to work on the overhead like this. And you can see, if we look at this plate, this was the autumn plate. So if you go over like so, you can see
what she's used.
That's exactly what we've done, right? So we've used that autumn plate, but we've definitely, look, there's no acorns here, and there's no autumnal leaves here. We've come in because it's the summer, for example. But other than that, she's used it in its entirety, right? So I'm going to show you how we close that up. That's the first thing. So we put that one over there.
So
now the next one is the autumn plate. And then we'll take this one. So let's enjoy this plate for a moment. So here we've got the hammock, but let's just look at it for a minute. We've got the hammock, we've got hats, we've got these hanging grasses. And if I wanted to, I could turn this round and this would be coming up from underneath as well. It's not, just because it's hanging, it doesn't mean it can't grow from the ground. Then we've got these grasses, we've got that fantastic hammock. You've also got a really cool outline.
It's beautiful.
And then you've got a basket in the corner here. So if I take this over here now, let's have a look what we've used. We've definitely used the hammock.
Yeah.
Right. Should I come up? Is that all right? Is there a bit of glare on there? So we've got the hammock, right? Then I've used Enjoy up there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then I've used Peaceful Moments. I haven't, Linda has. Peaceful Moments here. Then she's used this frame all around the outside. Now, where's that little basket?
So that's the basket down the
bottom. So here's the basket down here.
Oh, my word.
Right? So you see how she's moved around the plate? And that's it. So where did she get the flowers from? Right, put that one to one side and we'll get the next one out. Okay, so this one is the greenhouse one, which we'll be using tomorrow when we learn that trick with all
you'll be putting the things in the greenhouse.
So let's have a look at this one for a minute. So here, we've definitely used this part up here. But let's look again what we've got. We've got the greenhouse. We've got pots. We've got a deck chair or a lovely garden chair. We've got a little table with a book and a little cup and a trowel and a hat and a watering can. There are so many things in here.
There really are.
When you start to look, and all we've taken from this one, we've built, you see, here.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even...
And here. So you can see those 3 plates are what we've used.
Oh,
that's it.
Word.
And when we come to this edge now, so now I'm going to show you. I think what's important is that we take our time, we dissect it, and then we reconstruct it.
I think that's a good thing to do, because when you look at that card, and especially if you're sitting at home, you'd go, no way, in a million years could I do that.
No way. And what's fascinating is, and we did the 2 to 4 show, right? In the background is that piece of parchment. That's the piece of parchment. And Linda has chosen, because if you know Linda, she's a very gentle Welsh soul, right? And so what she's done is she's taken the front of the parchment and she's mounted the plain parchment on the top, and that's what you see here in the background and around the outside. That's all it is the parchment in the background. So what you were saying earlier about the parchment paints the background, there it is. And what's interesting is, because it's the parchment, just humour me here for a minute, if I wanted to, I could emboss something in there. Do you see what I'm getting at? Because it's parchment, if I wanted to put a word in there, I could put enjoy there, or relax there, or...
In the back, because you're getting all the words as well. You could have relax, take it easy in the background, because you're mounting it on parchment as well. We have the parchment on the show as well. The books, here they are, look, brand new in a beautiful bundle as well is what you're getting.
That was this is why Maya falls for sure.
This is perfect for your why Maya falls. You are getting both, and you're also getting, remember, your folder and also that amazing eraser pencil as well, £39.95. Pop that in your flexible baskets. Pop it in your flexible baskets, then you'll also split it onto 2 flexible payments. Right then.
Right, so let's start. Where would you start? Where do you begin? I'm going to break into song here. Where do I begin? Right. First of all, this is another fantastic plate, which is well worth, you know, like your essentials. Yeah. This is well worth having in your stash. This is got a beautiful alphabet, and obviously, happy birthday, wishing you both the very best wishes, Merry Christmas. But it's also got these frames around the outside. It's got a little frame on the inside, so it's brilliant for starting something. Now, if I want to go to the outside here, you can see immediately that Linda's taken the 3rd and 4th one in, and that's what's created that border for her.
Create the border.
Yeah? That's where we find this border, is on this plate. However, and this was something that I was looking at, because if I use that, Linda's obviously hand picot cut. Oh my word. Yeah, I know. Well, that's why she's the master parcher in the world.
Well, that is true,
right?
that is
There's
true.
only 2 in the world, and Linda's one of them, and I'm not the other one, right? So, but see now me, because I'm a bit more pushed for time, it's just a suggestion, but if I was to take a fresh cut die now, it's just a suggestion, it would work, you'd have to modify it a little bit, but these picot cut, Linda's like, well, yeah, okay, that's cheating. It's not really cheating, right? It would just make the design a little bit smaller, wouldn't it? And then I'd have to I'd have to put enjoy a bit tighter, I'd have to put my flowers up a bit.
But it's
Peaceful
doable.
moment, I could put it there if I wanted. But absolutely. And these would give you the picot edge straight away, instant picot edge. I'm just saying, for people who, yeah?
It's worth noting. The details for these are on the screen as well. £34.98. Because once you've done the border, then you can enjoy the creation on the inside.
Because you're going to have to cut the inside out. So I would focus on the inside. You know, we're going to cut all this out, aren't we? Look, that's all hand cut. I mean, believe it or not. So can we have a little look at this? This is actually hand cut. So if we could just, let's go in here. See that? That's all cut out by hand. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So my rationale is, if I'm going to cut all this out, if I can avoid cutting all that out, then I'm gonna.
Yes,
right?
Of course you are.
Okay, that's all. That's all. But that's a choice thing. So, but I'm not a fitter. We're going with Linda's design. So let's fast forward now.
40% of your one-day special, I'm just going to throw it in. 40%. 40% of your one-day special has now already gone.
So let's just go through. I'm not going to, there's much more to do at the other end than go through all this. So I'm not going to, I'm just going to talk these bits through. Okay. So I'm going to take this plate, and I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3, 3rd and 4th one in to create my frame. Yeah? Then once I've got that, then I've got to take, now we'll just put that one to one side. Okay. Then I'm going to take let me just take because now I need, hold on a minute, I need my Groovi plate mate from the starter kit. So many of you will already have the starter kit. So the next thing to do is I need to use my, bear with me 1 second, I need my, yeah, they are, I need this one. So the next thing to do, in order, in sequence, is now I'm going to put this one in, right? My heart, or my lovely autumnal frame. So that when we look at it like that, what you'll see is, I'm fast forwarding here, because this just takes too long. All we're doing is going all the way around with the number 1 tool, or the 1 point, or the number 1 in the Pergamano, right, number 1. But when I get to the leaf, I'm going to forget about it. And when I get to the acorn, I'm going to miss it out. Do you see?
Yep.
So I've got these 2 gaps here. That's all we're going to do. What I want to do is show you how to fill the gap up. Because if you look at the artwork here, you'll notice that this is actually clean, isn't it? It's been cleaned up. But the point that Linda's showing you here is that you don't have to, just because it smacks of autumn with acorns,
you can take them out.
Just take them out. You could put a rose in there, a flower, anything, right? But now I've got to close it up again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this plate, I'm going to turn it round, and I'm looking now for how to close this up. So I want to leave the top one open, but I want to close up the bottom one. And what I need to do is find let me just have a look for a minute, because you've got to find, this one's coming down here, right? So I'm going to look for a place, that's the one, I think, yeah. So I'll look for a place where it's got a nice flow to it, do you see? So you're going to use this now, and this one's going to cross over, let me get this right. I want to cross it over, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's not. It's good to see, because this is what you're going to do at home.
This is what you've got to do at home. Let me just... So this one here is crossing over to that one there. So all I'm going to do is wait until I've got the right curve. See, and I'm just going to look now. See, no wonder... Yeah, I probably should... There you go. So that'll work for me. So you get the right curve in, and you hold it placed, like that. And you're going to go like that. Right. And when you turn it over, you've closed that gap, right? Then you're going to take this one, turn it over, and now we're going to close this gap. So you just look until you're happy with the curve. You see what I'm getting at? So once you're happy with the curve, I reckon that's about right there. That'll do. I reckon that'll work, like so.
So remember, I'm going to use all the elements that are on there. They will close up if you want them to as well. You've just got to find the line that will work for you. Yeah,
that's it. And I'm thinking that Linda's probably used the number 1. There you go. And when you close it up, now I've sealed the deal, see? So I've closed it. So that's that job done. Did I do all right, Linda? That was a hard bit. Right, but it's on the plate. I wouldn't want to do that freehand.
No,
I wouldn't want to just, no. I mean, but in the olden days, that's what parchers used to do. They didn't, that was before Groovi. BG.
Sit there and draw.
Yeah, imagine that.
Oh no, I could never, never in a million years.
So now we've done that, and we've got our, so comparing that now, let's put that to one side, comparing that with what we've now got our frame. So the next thing I want to do, I need to add my, I'm going to add my...
Hammock?
Hammock, that's the word, thanks.
It's all right.
My hammock.
Add your hammock.
Now the hammock is an A5 plate, so just now, humour me here, this is an A5 square, so it goes in the aperture in this Groovi starter plate, mate. When we go to A5 plates, this is another Groovi plate, mate. What it does is it just helps when you're working, it holds the plate, it stops it wiggling around, and it means that then I can do this, and I can see exactly where the hammock's going to go. Do you see? And the other thing is, when you're actually doing this work, the idea is you take the Groovi tabs, and while you're working, so this would be the next thing that I'm going to add, and while you're working, is this the right way around? Yeah. If you can read Groovi in the top right hand corner, then it means that you've got it. And then you can just add the hammock, right? I think we're going to move it up a little bit. Let's have a look. Where should we put the hammock? I reckon about there You see, it doesn't have to be that high, like so, right? Decide where you want the hammock. You don't have to have the whole length of this, do you?
No,
so you go like that.
Down.
But the thing is that you attach it like so. You attach it to this bit so that as I'm working on it, I can check my progress.
But the plate will always go back in.
When I go back, it relocates exactly where it's supposed to be. So then we're going to pop the hammock in. And that now, I'm going to use, the only thing I want to just point out is, as I'm using the hammock, if we look at the hammock here, what you'll see is, on Linda's artwork, you see this area here, where I want it to be really crisp, I'm going to use the number 1 tool.
Okay.
Right? Or in Pergamano speak, the number 1 tool. Where I want to do some embossing or white work, like here, if you have a look, see the white work there?
Yeah.
Right, when I get to that bit, I'm going to flip the tool over, if I'm using the starter kit tool, to the number 2, it says number 2 on the tool, and that then it will mean that the lines are not so pronounced, and that will make it much easier when I go to do the white work later on.
Oh, okay.
Right? So all of wherever I'm going to do some white work, I'm going to use the softer edge, like so. And where I want it to be crisp, like here, I'm going to use this end of the tool. Or, as I say, the number 1 in the Pergamano range and the number 1.5. See? So you can either go crisp. If you jump out, it makes no odds. It won't matter.
And that's the thing, you don't need to be scared. If you jump out, you're not going to mark your parchment, because it doesn't mark it. Which I
so
think is
the
amazing.
outline, for example, now of the hammock, let's just go along there like so, right? And then you can sweep around on, it comes together very fast in that regard, but you just have to be aware of what you want to emboss and what you don't want to emboss. So I'm not going to spend the whole time doing this.
Okay.
Right? Because I've already got one that Linda did for me. I can't even say I did it earlier.
Good old Linda.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda. You have no idea how much this is appreciated. Right, so, but you can understand now, if we look at this, let me just put these up here, and we look at this artwork now.
Oh, look at that.
Can we see this here? Yeah, fantastic. So we can see exactly what Linda's done here, and she's, wherever she wants to do white work, where she wants me to do white work, it's more faded, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't.
So when you look on this side, you can see immediately where the difference is. Right?
All around here, as you can see, it's not as pronounced as the white that you've done already, so that's where you're going to go in and...
Exactly. And so when you look here, you can see there are several things between here. For example, now we can start introducing elements, can't we? Because we've got the main item in there now.
The body.
Yeah. So the next thing we want to do is look and say, right, so one thing at a time. Enjoy, for example, is going to go up here. Yeah. So I can put enjoy in. Is that going to go? Yeah. That's it. That's going to go up there. So I can decide where I want to put it, like this, and then I'm just going to use the number 1. When you're starting out with Groovi, it's always a good idea to actually tape it down with
your Groovi tabs.
With the Groovi tabs, right? Just so that it doesn't move while you're working. Once you get into it, you find you can hold it in place. So when I turn that round, we've got enjoy. It's already done. And then peaceful moments, that's going to sit, so you take that, and that's going to sit in that corner there. So I don't need to do it now, we know that. Now, over here, if we look at this one here, let's take a look here. We've got the flowers and I really like this because I thought, well, where did she find these flowers? Then I thought, of course, you found them in the bouquet.
From the...
Yeah, so if we come over here now, and we're going to use this particular little set of flowers, I'm going to actually attach it because I want it to be in place. It's about working backwards, isn't it, as well?
And that's the thing as well, that's what you have to remember. Remember, you're working on the reverse side of your parchment, so when you flip it over, That's where the position it's going to be, so it'll be on the opposite side, as it were.
So this is, I've just wiped it with a tumble dryer sheet. So now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just add the basket.
Okay.
So I'm going to go round, and I would suggest that first of all you put the basket in, so that goes into place, and then it goes really fast once you get into it. Okay. So it's like a little trug, this, isn't it?
For those people that have just tuned in for the Groovi, or they've not au fait, as it were, with the Groovi, why do you rub it with a
tumble dryer sheet? It helps if you don't, sometimes the tool, it starts to sort of judder a little bit. It just helps the tool glide more in the grooves. So, for example, if you don't do that, you'll feel it immediately. It starts to pull a little bit. And then there's something on the tumble dryer sheet that just adds a little bit of, it's like an oil, if you like, I guess, and it just helps massively. So let's say, for example, you can see how quickly you can create these flowers, right? But I wanted to just show you, let's just get these ones in place quickly.
You can see how quick they come together, though.
Yeah, that's it. And also, it's about using the elements. So this is like an independent little picture. This would make a beautiful centerpiece on another card.
As
so
you said,
now,
Mother's Day, anniversaries,
loads of lovely, I mean, flowers in the garden, men's cards, women's cards. I'm just going quickly now, but let's say, for example, now I've done that. Let's just pretend I've done that. That's enough. And then I'll take this up though, and I want to add a couple of flowers around it. Let's just have a look what we've got so far. That's good enough. Look, it's smashing.
Nice.
Right, so we've got our little flowers there. But then inside I can pick, let's just take that off there. I can pick any of the flowers that are within the set, right? And then I can just add a couple of them down here. So I'm just pulling that flower out, and I'm just going to add it in the side here, so it looks as if it's come out. And then I'll take another one, little one, there you go. Because they're independently created, they don't, it's fantastic really, because you can pick them out. You can make a whole bouquet if you were inclined with these little, look. And when you turn it over,
look at that.
It's so easy to do. So easy to do.
It really is, and you can create these too. So before we go any further, we will come back to this demonstration, do not fear. We are so busy. There's a lot of you sitting there with things in your basket. So what we thought we'd do is check out your baskets during this. You're not going to miss anything, trust me. Check out your baskets while we watch these beautiful finished samples. There's so much more you can do.
They're gorgeous.
This is stunning. Watch this. See, there is so much you can do when you get these home. Mix and match the plates. Plates? What plates are you on about? The one-day special. You are getting 6 brand new Linda Williams designs. Look at the designs that you've got in there, and look how now you can mould your own garden. It's like different corners of the garden that you've got there, and now you can create your own designs for 2 flexible payments of £27.47. Remember, you're only paying for 5 of these because it works out in theory that you're getting 1 for free. Now I want to show you some of these finished samples before we go any further, because these are beautiful. Look at what you can create. So this is just one of the elements that you've got in there. This is the complete element. Just look at the details that you've got, though. So you've got a beautiful window, the bunting, the stairs that can all be cut out, all Pico cut out if you want them to be. And then you've got the beautiful potting shed, that little shed at the bottom of the garden with the deck chair. So you can start creating your own little things if you wanted to. Remember, paint a picture. That's exactly the same, but look at the difference that you've got there. So now you've got the trees in the background, you've got the beautiful foliage that's creeping down. Men's cards. There's so much that you can do with these. Men's anniversaries. Just what I want to try and get across is the amount of things you can do. When you see the plate, I don't want you to think that's a beautiful plate, or you just use it as the one. Please don't. Please take elements from one and use them with another, because if I show you them just edged out as they are, just take this window and pop it on another Groovi plate that you've already got. Take these stairs and then take the stairs and then pop it to the bottom of the shed maybe. So maybe this is where the stairs lead you. You can take these plant pots that you've got down here and maybe you can do a meandering path to the shed. So that beautiful greenhouse that you've got at the bottom of your garden. Remember, each one of the plates has an individual border all the way around. You have sentiments on them all as well. This is the one that Barbara's currently using at the moment. We're only using the hammock, this tiny element, it's not a tiny element, it's a beautiful element out of one of the plates. You've got all the reeds that are gathered around, but then that's only 3 because I have another 3 here as well. You've got your deck chairs, the fountains, the trees that you could use in there. Those trees you could pop in the background for your hammock if you wanted to. From there, you've got the beautiful picket fence and those beautiful sort of oriental looking lanterns in the garden with the birds and the flowers and the little cat that's there. But that cat could be sitting on the swinging bench if you wanted him to. You could also put him behind the picket fence and continue that picket fence all the way along. And then once again, you've got the beautiful garden along the bottom. Half the stock of your one-day special has now already gone. It's meant to last for 24 hours, but 50% now of this stock has already gone. £27.47 today, plus your postage and package, and then £27.47 in a month's time. But we will send you these after your first instalment. But something else that's brand new today as well, we've not really seen too much of these, was Paul will be showing these more in the second hour. Remember, this is a 2-hour live launch show. These are your hobbies and pastimes. Oh my word, how beautiful are these? And over 1/4 of the stock here has already gone, of a 24-hour stock, and there is a vast amount of stock as well. We knew they were going to be busy. I'm going to show you some of the finished samples again because I think it really comes to life when we show you some of these. So this is a bit of everything on here. So you've got a bit of your haberdashery plate that's on there as well, a bit of your cooking in there. Everything that you see on here are on different plates. This is not one plate. This is a mix-up of all the plates that you are getting. But then, oh my word, look at this. So she's taken and turned it into a little angel. How beautiful. How beautiful. And then you've got cookery. If you want to go for the cookery as well, you've also got the cookery that's on there. There is so many elements. Let me show you the white work just as it is on the plates. Just the plates put straight down, and just so you can see, I'm quickly go through these. Look at the elements that are in these, and then go back to your one-day special and look how they tie together beautifully. Then you've got your craft room. You've got your glue guns in there, your heat guns in there, you've got your tables, your brayers, your micro powders, everything that you need is in there. Your haberdashery, your sewing that's in there as well with the mannequin. Then you've also got your cooking. But look how many single elements. And then you've got that beautiful easel that you might want to pop into the garden as well. The book that might just be resting on the floor, nestled on the floor next to your large deck chair that you've got. I know, they're beautiful, aren't they? and these could be yours as well. £31.95. Remember, if you pop them in your baskets with your one-day special, this will be split onto 2 interest-free flexible payments. 239908 is your item number for your hobbies and pastimes. But we only launched this a few hours ago, and you loved it earlier. These are your brand new parchments is where we're going. Brand new parchments is what you're seeing here, along with the book as well. So you get the wallet in there to keep all your parchments safe, to stop it getting dug in, and then you can flick through at your own leisure to find the beautiful, beautiful papers that you're going to use. Remember, with these papers as well, these papers paint a picture, and then you tell the story. They put the backgrounds in for you, so you can really go to town with the foreground and the story that you want to portray on your parchments, as it were. What we've also got as well, you've also can take out the colour that's also on the parchment. £39.95, 647034 is your item number on these, is what we're talking about. Right then, back to demonstration is where we're off to.
Right, I've been going like the clappers. But I just wanted to show you. So, for example, let's go back to the original, and you'll see now, because what we did was we swapped out the hammock for the greenhouse, because Linda has chosen to use this particular foliage as a hanging.
Oh, okay.
So what I did was, while you were talking, I just wanted to show you, see this bit here? I mean, you build your own. So what I started was, I just filled in this area here. Just anything that was there, which was that bit there.
Yeah.
Right? Then I moved it up and started, now I'm coming down and I'm working, here it is, like that. See? Now I'm working my way into that gap that we left. Do you remember when we left the gap?
Ah, so this is how you fill the gap now.
So then, like, I can see exactly, and I can move the parchment around, and I can see exactly where so for example, I can bring some foliage in around here through the, do you see?
Yeah.
I can come in, let's come in, that bit there, that will work a treat, like so. So then I'm just going to move the parchment around like that, and I'll get my tool, and I can see that now it's quite busy, so it's not that crucial, right? Because this is my take on it anyway, if I come in here and I just avoid the bits that are already done, so I don't go through, when I get to this bit, I can always tidy it up. You see what I mean? I can always go in and just tidy it up if I want to. But the point is that you just go through and you start building, and you move the flowers around until you're happy with the way they sit. And what's nice is that you can move it around. You can take your time and you just say, right, I want a bit more foliage there, so then go, or I want some foliage there now, so I'm going to move it to that. And this is how you build up. If you look here, this is how you build it up. You go in behind the, look, see that lovely, I think that foliage is going to be just peach. There's more on that side. I could come over here and I think, yeah, that might work even better. See? And then you just take the foliage and you just start moving it through like so. And you just build up and then when you get to the hammock chain, you stop and you go, you know, because that's in front. So you just move it round like so, and you just create your own. You're the designer, you said that earlier.
Yeah,
so
you are, and that's the wonderful thing about Groovi, is that you can
start building it like that.
Move the parchment around.
Yeah, so you just build your area until you're happy with it. So once you fill this out, and then you can see all Linda's done here is just taken this area. And again, you go in there and you just start building up this area. It's entirely up to you where you put the foliage.
Where you put the foliage.
So fast forwarding now, this has been completely filled here. And you can also see the one thing that I didn't show you was across here. This is so easy. Look, you see the border?
Oh,
it's the same thickness as the border was on the plate that we used for the frame. Right?
So you literally just line it all up so it's in the middle.
So you literally line it up carefully, and then you just go through, and you just, there you go. And it's up to you how you go easy, but you just go through, like that will do me. like so. See? Nice, isn't it?
You just move your parchment down
Yeah.
to obviously to extend a line.
Whatever you fancy doing, if you fancy that one, or I think Linda probably used a different one. It looks to me like she used a different one as a crisscross one, but you can change it, whatever you see.
Remember,
it's entirely up to you.
every plate has a different edging.
Exactly. So for example, Linda
edges.
used the hammock one, which is the crisscross one, but you can just as easily use the different looking one. So it's more, you know, just choices, choices, choices. So many different choices here.
There really
you
is.
see here. So I've just gone in with that one instead of that one. But fortunately, we've got another one to go to. So if we look at this now, let's have a look at this now. Let's just check. So we've got a little cat in there. So where did we find the cat? So if you look at this plate, the Serenity and Joy plate, let's have a look. Let's enjoy this. You see the Serenity and Joy plate, there's a little cat here.
So there he is.
So if I take that cat, and again, I turn it over, there he is, look. Tucked into the, do you see he's tucked in there?
So you've not used all of his body, you've just
No.
used a part of his body.
But what I was thinking as well, let me show you something else. Let me just show you a variation on Linda's theme. If I take that little cat, instead of putting him in the hammock, look how cool he would sit on that word there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to put him there instead, just for a variation. So he sits absolutely beautifully on that word.
On that moment.
Doesn't that look nice?
It does.
So let's do that instead. And then we'll see the little cat from the other plate. I know we've got a lot of cat friends out there. So let's do that. And we're going to use our, see, and that holds it all in place while I'm working. Tumble dryer sheet, just to make sure that that doesn't, see, on the number 1 tool, and then in we go. So all I'm going to do now is take that little cat, and instead of sitting him inside the hammock, I'll pop him on top of the words. I bet he looks lovely. It just occurred to me earlier, and I thought, I bet that'd look nice.
So that once again, that goes to prove when you get these home, have a play around.
Yeah.
Really have a play. Just do them. Go through them all. Go through every single one on your clear parchment, and then cut out the elements if you want to, and then you can really manipulate your photos.
Let's have a look what that looks like. Hey,
look at that.
Doesn't he look cool? I love it. Right? Smashing, isn't it? So it's just a different idea. Instead of in there, you could pop him on there. Yeah?
Just to let you know as well, a lot of the plates now have sold out individually.
Have they?
If you want all of them,
to use.
it's easier to go for the bundles now. If you check the website, that will tell you which ones have sold out already, but most of them has gone. So most of it now, the only way you're getting these now is going for your bundles or your one-day special.
I've got a bit of a sniffle. Just
no, I've got that as well. I think it's the
Have
studio.
You? Is it the air conditioning? Just blame it on the air conditioning. Whatever goes on, just blame it on the air conditioning. Right. So now let's have a look where we're at, and you'll see the next thing that we want to show you is, I would suggest that we go to the colour.
Okay.
Right? So you can go to the colour or the white work, depending on what you fancy. But normally one would go to the colour next.
First.
I would suggest so. So if we turn this over now, oh, thanks, Paul. Yeah, thank you. Now let's have a look at the colour. So we've got lots of different options. We're going to work from behind.
Okay.
And we're going to use. Let's just start, for example, I can use polychromos or I can use pergoliners.
All on the website.
So I'm going to, pergoliners, we own Pergamano, so let's go with our own. And I'm just going to use a few different colours here. And I'm going to use the B pencils, B for blending.
Okay.
So these are great. These just do the job beautifully, right? But let's just show you around the edge, for example. If I take a little bit of green, and I'm just going to add a bit of green here. Now, you can't see this very well on black when you're colouring in, right? You can see, it's not bad, you can see it quite, can you see it all right? So just run a little bit of green like that. I want to show you a blend. Right.
Remember, once again, this is on the back of your parchment.
Working on the back on a hard surface. This is a hard mat, right? So let's just add a little bit of colour there. Let's add a little bit of blue into the flowers, you see? So when you're working on the back, you don't have to be too precious about how you colour in. Just add, I'm just using a nice blue and an olivey green. There's different greens. You can blend them. So I'm just going to add a little bit here and there, just so you see. Let's just go with a few leaves here, like so, right? I mean, this could take, you know, take hours. I can't imagine how long it took Linda to actually do this, you know. But there we go. Let's just, my job is just to show you the different tricks. So just gently colour in. Now, around the outside, if you want to blend the colours, what we'll do is we'll take some Dorso oil. We're going to blend the colours. But do you know what? If I can show you, I'm going to use a light wave because this is a great piece of kit.
We've got about 2 minutes left of this hour.
Have we?
Yeah.
And you're joking.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told.
What happened there? Right. Well, okay. Well, in that case, how's that possible?
It was all mapped out as well, perfectly at the top of the hour.
We had, wow. Okay. Well, quickly, just have a look at this then. And I'll show you, if I use my blending tool, because I think on the, if you look at the, it's very gritty, isn't it? If you look, you can see that it's quite gritty, but you can really see it well on the light wave, how gritty it is. But when I blend it, look, see when I blend it with a bit of Dorso oil, look how it smooths it out. Can you, yeah, brilliant, Andy. There you go. Do you see how smooth that is now? By comparison, when you just, it makes such a difference.
Well, it turns into like a watercolour.
Yeah, but look at that, what a difference, right? And then when you get to blend the colours, like now, here's the green, and then when you move the green into the blue, you get a beautiful blend. You see?
Look at
But look at what a difference it makes from that gritty colouring. And you can do that in the little flowers, you can do that along the edge, but it just changes it completely. And when we take this away now, since we're running out of time,
we've got a minute,
and we go to the black, to the white, let's grab a bit of white to show you. I did have a bit going, there we are. And you can see where I've blended it. Look what a difference it makes to where it's gritty here. Sorry, Andy, I'm letting you earn your keep here. So you see how gritty that is? But then when you come round there, you can really see the difference. So that's a colouring trick. So you just lay it on loosely on the back with the pencil, and then a little bit of Dorso oil, and it blends it superbly.
It's all these little tricks that make it perfect, isn't it? Don't you go anywhere though. There's so much more to shop for here on Channel. Remember, we've got a 2-hour launch show. Check out your baskets as well. Barbara will be back as well in the next hour as well. Don't you go anywhere. Go and pop the kettle on, and I'll see you shortly.